You've been watching carbs, avoiding sugar, and maybe taking medication, but what if one meal could undo all your hard work? Most diabetics focus on daytime eating habits while completely missing these critical dinner mistakes. I've seen patients puzzled by morning glucose spikes despite following every daytime rule perfectly. Imagine waking up to troubling numbers despite your best efforts. Frustrating, right? But don't worry, small adjustments to your evening routine can make all the difference. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal these 7 dinner pitfalls and show you exactly how to fix them. Mistake number 1: forgetting protein and fiber. Most people with diabetes focus on what they need to cut out: carbs, sugars, starches, but what you need to add to your dinner plate matters just as much for blood sugar control. When your dinner lacks adequate protein and fiber, your body has a harder time processing the carbohydrates you consume. Even modest amounts of carbs can cause significant overnight blood sugar problems when these key nutrients are missing. Protein and fiber work together as natural buffers in your digestive system. Think of them as speed bumps that slow down the traffic of glucose entering your bloodstream. Protein slows carbohydrate absorption, while fiber creates a gel-like substance preventing rapid sugar absorption, giving your body more time to process glucose without sharp spikes. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that protein-enriched dinners suppress post-meal glucose levels and maintain stable blood sugar for hours afterward, precisely when you're sleeping and not actively managing your diabetes. This protective effect is something many diabetics completely miss out on. Another common misconception is that eating very little at dinner helps control blood sugar. This approach often backfires. When you don't eat enough, your body may release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can actually raise blood sugar levels. Your liver may also release stored glucose to compensate for what it perceives as a potential energy shortage, leading to higher morning readings. The solution is straightforward. Aim for at least 15 to 20 grams of protein and 5 to 10 grams of fiber at your evening meal. For perspective, that's about the amount of protein in a 3-ounce piece of chicken or fish, and the fiber in a cup of broccoli or beans. Good protein sources include chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, tofu, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and legumes. For fiber, focus on non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, spinach, and Brussels sprouts. Beans and lentils provide both protein and fiber, making them particularly valuable for blood sugar management. By balancing your dinner plate with adequate protein and fiber, you create a protective barrier against glucose spikes that works throughout the night while you sleep. The result? You wake up with better morning readings without changing your medications or restricting yourself to an unsatisfying dinner. Addressing this mistake is just the first step toward better overnight blood sugar control. The next mistakes we'll discuss compound this problem, creating a perfect storm for morning highs if left uncorrected. What you drink with dinner might be sabotaging your blood sugar control more than what's on your plate. Most of us pay careful attention to the foods we eat, but beverages often fly under the radar despite their significant impact on glucose levels. Many people don't realize that beverages can cause rapid blood sugar spikes, sometimes even faster than solid foods. This happens because liquids pass through your digestive system more quickly, delivering sugar directly into your bloodstream with minimal processing. The effect can be particularly pronounced at dinner when your body's natural insulin sensitivity is already beginning to decrease. Your choice of drink is as pivotal as food selection for maintaining overnight stability. Research has found that drinking water with carbohydrate-rich meals can actually increase blood glucose levels compared to not drinking at all. In one study, participants who drank water while eating carbohydrate-heavy food experienced higher blood sugar spikes than those who consumed the same food without water. This challenges the standard recommendation to drink plenty of water with meals. Beverages that act like hidden sugar bombs lurk in many evening routines. Consider Evelyn, who enjoyed her nightly glass of sweetened iced tea with dinner, only to wake up frustrated by inexplicably high morning glucose readings. A single can of soda contains up to 40 grams of sugar, 10 teaspoons worth. Even healthy options like fruit juice deliver concentrated sugar without the fiber of whole fruit. A glass of apple juice contains the sugar from several apples but none of the fiber that would normally slow down sugar absorption. Alcohol presents a unique challenge. Alcoholic beverages initially lower blood sugar as your liver processes the alcohol instead of releasing glucose. However, hours later, typically while sleeping, your blood sugar may suddenly rise as your liver catches up on glucose production, explaining those unexpected high morning readings after having wine with dinner. Timing water consumption matters significantly. Studies suggest drinking water 30 minutes before or after meals, rather than during the meal itself, is optimal for blood sugar management. In one study of people with type 2 diabetes, those who drank a liter of water before meals showed improvements in fasting blood sugar levels compared to those who didn't. The solution? Choose plain water as your primary dinner beverage, but time it properly. The American Diabetes Association recommends water or zero-calorie beverages since they have no direct effect on blood glucose. Other good options include unsweetened tea, coffee, sparkling water, and diet beverages without added sugars. The healthy carbs you've been told to eat might be the very reason your blood sugar is spiking overnight. We're often encouraged to choose healthier versions of carbohydrates, but these supposedly better options can still create significant problems with your glucose control. Many foods marketed as health foods or labeled as good for diabetics can cause substantial blood sugar disruptions, especially when they make up your dinner. Their effects continue throughout your sleeping hours when you're not actively managing your diabetes, undermining your daytime efforts. Research reveals a disappointing truth. Supposedly healthy options can spike blood sugar nearly as much as their refined counterparts. For example, brown rice, despite its higher fiber content, can elevate glucose levels almost as much as white rice in many individuals. Whole wheat bread, while containing more nutrients than white bread, still significantly impacts blood glucose when consumed at dinner, when insulin sensitivity naturally decreases. The glycemic index provides only partial insight. Processing methods, ripeness, and your individual metabolism all affect how your body responds to these carbohydrates. A food with moderate glycemic impact for the general population might trigger a much higher response in your system. Many diabetics feel frustrated upon discovering that foods they've diligently included in their diets, instant oatmeal, rice cakes, and dried fruits, can cause rapid glucose spikes. These foods are typically highly processed with partially broken down fiber, allowing for faster digestion and quicker blood sugar impact. Dried fruits concentrate natural sugars without the water content that helps fill you up, making overconsumption easy. Even whole grain pasta and bread can significantly impact overnight glucose levels. A serving of carbohydrates is merely 15 grams, about a quarter cup of granola or 6 saltine crackers, yet most people consume several servings unknowingly. The solution lies in choosing truly blood sugar-friendly options. Non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and leafy greens contain complex carbohydrates with minimal glucose impact. Beans and lentils provide carbohydrates buffered by fiber and protein, while small portions of berries offer sweetness with less sugar impact than other fruits. These alternatives contain complex carbohydrates that break down slowly, avoiding the glucose spikes caused by their healthier counterparts. A 2019 study in the Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism Journal found that consuming protein or vegetables before carbohydrates may reduce blood sugar spikes. When choosing dinner carbohydrates, prioritize whole, minimally processed options containing at least 3 grams of dietary fiber per serving, and consider your food consumption timing to enjoy satisfying meals without blood sugar consequences. Surprisingly, eliminating carbs completely at dinner might be working against your blood sugar goals. While reducing carbohydrates is generally helpful for blood sugar management, going extremely low-carb at dinner can sometimes backfire in ways you wouldn't expect. Think of your body's carbohydrate needs like a delicate seesaw. Too much tips you toward high blood sugar, but too little can trigger an unexpected counterbalance. When your body detects an absence of carbohydrates, it can interpret this as a sign of starvation. In response, your liver releases stored glucose overnight to compensate, ensuring your brain and vital organs have enough energy, but potentially causing problems for people with diabetes. Consider Monica, who meticulously followed a zero-carb dinner plan for weeks, only to be frustrated by consistently elevated morning readings. Despite her perfect eating, her body was activating its protective mechanisms. This phenomenon, known as the dawn effect, explains why many people experience unexpectedly high morning blood sugar readings despite eating virtually no carbs the night before. The quality of protein and fat sources matters significantly when following a low-carb approach. Research presented at the American Heart Association's scientific sessions revealed an important distinction. Animal-based, low-carbohydrate eating has been associated with a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, while plant-based low-carb eating shows the opposite effect, actually reducing diabetes risk. Yeli Wang, the lead study author from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, emphasized that the quality of protein, fats, and carbs may be more important than the quantity of carbs, To prevent the risk of type 2 diabetes for generally healthy people without prediabetes or diabetes, the solution is finding the right carb balance. For many people with diabetes, including between 15 to 30 grams of quality carbohydrates at dinner provides enough glucose to prevent the liver's stress response without causing problematic blood sugar spikes. Choosing complex carbs with fiber, like a small portion of sweet potato, quinoa, or legumes, can actually help stabilize overnight blood sugar better than no carbs at all. This moderate approach to evening carbohydrates often results in more stable morning readings than either high-carb or no-carb extremes, giving you more consistent control over your diabetes management around the clock. Even if you're choosing all the right foods, the wrong proportions on your plate could be sabotaging your overnight blood sugar. This sixth mistake is one that's easy to overlook but has a significant impact on your glucose management. Many diabetics focus intensely on food choices but overlook the critical importance of portion sizes and the balance of foods on their plate. You might be selecting perfect diabetes-friendly ingredients while experiencing blood sugar spikes because of how much you're eating or how you're arranging your dinner plate. Think of your dinner plate as a balance scale. When portions are uneven, your glucose levels tip out of control. Research shows that healthy foods can cause blood sugar problems when portion sizes are too large or when the plate lacks proper balance. The total amount of carbohydrates matters significantly. Eating too large a portion of even low glycemic foods can elevate blood glucose. Your body responds to the total carbohydrate load, regardless of how healthy those carbs might be. Studies reveal something fascinating about dinner habits. The order in which you eat food significantly impacts blood sugar. Starting with non-starchy vegetables and proteins before consuming carbohydrates can reduce post-meal glucose spikes by up to 30%. This simple eating sequence adjustment directly affects your overnight glucose levels. Proper portion control helps your body produce an appropriate insulin response rather than overwhelming it with too much food at once. When you consume an oversized portion, especially of carbohydrates, your body struggles to produce enough insulin quickly enough to handle the incoming glucose, leading to higher blood sugar elevations. The solution? Use the diabetes plate method to create proper balance without complicated counting or measuring. The American Diabetes Association recommends this visual approach as an easy way to structure meals. The method involves filling half your plate with non-starchy vegetables, a quarter with lean protein foods, and the remaining quarter with carbohydrate foods. These proportions ensure you're getting adequate vegetables and protein while limiting carbohydrates to an appropriate amount. For best results, use a 9-inch plate rather than larger dinner plates that have become standard in many homes. Larger plates naturally encourage larger portions, which can lead to consuming more carbohydrates than your body can effectively process. This simple visual approach eliminates complicated carb counting while ensuring you get the right proportion of nutrients to support stable glucose levels. It creates an easy habit with lasting benefits for your diabetes management. The seemingly innocent habit of watching TV during dinner might be silently sabotaging your blood sugar control. This common practice affects your diabetes management more than you might realize, and it goes well beyond just making mealtime less enjoyable. Distracted eating has measurable impacts on your body's metabolic response. When you eat while watching television, scrolling through social media, or catching up on work emails, your body processes food differently than when you give your meal your full attention. Research shows that eating while watching TV or using your phone can increase blood glucose levels by 20% compared to mindful eating. This significant difference occurs because your body's natural digestive processes, like a well-rehearsed symphony, become disrupted when your attention is divided. The musicians, your digestive enzymes, can't coordinate properly when the conductor, your brain, is focused elsewhere. Consider Deborah, a patient I worked with who habitually watched intense crime dramas during dinner. Her continuous glucose monitor revealed dramatic spikes on TV dinner nights compared to when she ate mindfully. These elevated levels persisted throughout the night, affecting her morning readings too. The research indicates that distracted eating leads to increased immediate food intake and more substantial consumption later. When distracted, people typically eat faster, chew less thoroughly, and consume more calories. This rushed eating style affects how your food is broken down and absorbed, potentially causing larger blood sugar spikes that last throughout the night. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register that you're satisfied, so eating quickly while distracted can lead to consuming significantly more food before your brain recognizes fullness. This delay in satiety signals directly impacts blood sugar management. The brain-gut connection plays a crucial role here. When you eat mindfully, your brain properly signals fullness and triggers appropriate digestive responses. However, when you're distracted, these important signals are often missed or delayed, leading to overeating and complications in blood sugar management. The solution is simple but powerful. Turn off screens during dinner and practice mindful eating by focusing on your food. Try putting your fork down between bites and take time to truly taste each mouthful. This slows down your eating pace and allows your digestive processes to work more effectively. That seemingly innocent piece of fruit or small dessert after dinner could be the hidden culprit behind your morning blood sugar spikes. Many people believe that ending their evening with a piece of fruit or a small sweet treat won't affect their glucose levels, especially if dinner itself was balanced and blood sugar friendly. However, research shows that consuming carbohydrates, even from natural sources like fruit, at the end of the day can have a disproportionate impact on overnight glucose levels. The timing of when you eat carbohydrates matters tremendously. Your body's insulin sensitivity naturally decreases in the evening, making it harder to process carbohydrates consumed right before bedtime, turning that innocent-looking dessert into a sneaky saboteur that undermines your entire day's careful eating. This natural rhythm of insulin sensitivity means your body is simply less equipped to handle sugar in the evening. The same apple that barely raises your blood sugar at lunch can cause a significant spike when eaten after dinner. Studies show that fruit eaten after dinner causes a substantially higher blood sugar response than when eaten earlier in the day. The American Diabetes Association notes that while people with diabetes can still enjoy desserts, careful planning is essential. This timing issue affects everyone but is especially problematic for people with diabetes or prediabetes whose glucose regulation is already compromised. The solution isn't eliminating dessert entirely, but making strategic adjustments. Have something sweet immediately after your main meal, not an hour later, and pair it with protein and fat to buffer the blood sugar impact. According to experts, having dessert with or right after your meal helps you eat a smaller portion and reduces glucose impact. Counting carbohydrates is another important strategy. If you plan to have dessert, reduce your carbohydrate intake at dinner to compensate, ensuring more balanced overall glucose levels. The CDC also recommends this approach. Smart substitutions make a significant difference. Blood sugar-friendly desserts should balance protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Dark chocolate can be a better option when paired with nuts or seeds that provide protein and healthy fats. Greek yogurt with a few berries makes an excellent evening dessert. The protein slows down sugar absorption, leading to a steadier blood glucose response. Other good options include chia seed pudding or a small apple with almond butter. These combinations provide satisfaction without the blood sugar roller coaster that disrupts your sleep and morning glucose levels. The goal is making choices that support your health around the clock. So there you have it, 7 common dinner mistakes that could be silently spiking your blood sugar overnight. Fixing these gives you the glucose control you've been working toward, helping you sleep better and wake up with lower numbers. But don't stop here, because fixing dinner is only half the story. What you drink first thing in the morning can either reset your blood sugar or spike it before your day even begins. There are 5 powerful drinks that can lower your blood sugar fast, sometimes within minutes of waking up. Tap the video on screen now to start your day right.